James Hyercheck with this week's Autochartist weekly Forex futures and equity market recap for the week ending July 6, 2012. On June 29th, the euro broke out to the upside following some bullish developments in Europe. This helped it post solid gains against all major currencies. You can see here that we are looking for this breakout to continue because of the size of this candlestick. But because of a slowdown in the markets ahead of a key ECB meeting and also the U.S. non-farm payrolls report, they began to sell the euro off gradually until the last 2 days of the week where the market sold off sharply. So this breakout did not work as the fundamentals shifted. However, we did make adjustments later in the week, which we'll get to in a couple of minutes. Another market we are looking at were the stock market and individual stocks. We've had a huge run-up in the grain markets. Soybeans and corn in particular have rallied sharply higher over the past month because of heat-driven and dry markets here in the United States. We saw a gap in GIS, which was General Mills, and we saw this breakout to the upside. You can see the market has not quite hit the target yet, and it fell back a little bit due to general weakness in the stock market. However, we still feel that if soybeans and corn continue to rally, this stock is likely to move counter trend like it did on Friday. We could still hit our upside target at 39.63. So this is GIS, General Mills. We are also looking at another stock, and that was related to the energy complex, and this is symbol KMP, Kinder Morgan Energy Partners. We recommended this on this breakout because of the strength in the energy complex. Natural gas has been rallying, crude oil started to show signs of strength. So we're looking at this to translate into a rally in KMP, symbol Kinder Morgan Energy Partners. So here this market is still intact, looking for about 84.21 on this move. Now later in the week, after we got a good read of the situation in the euro, we looked at the EUR USD, or euro versus US dollar. This began to sell off for 4 consecutive days here. You can see that the move started to accelerate to the downside. So we were looking at an emerging pattern last Wednesday, and then this translated into a huge sell-off and a breakdown through support of this triangle, and now we're headed towards about the 122 area. So again, earlier in the week we started out with a bullish euro versus yen. By the middle of the week we had shifted, and Autochartist had identified a weak euro dollar pattern. So again, we're looking for further downside pressure here to take this to 122 and perhaps even beyond. So this trade is still intact. Now, one trade that we were looking at, and it was a little confusing to market participants both fundamentally and technically, and this was the gold market. You know, at one time it looked like it was going to break out early in the week when the dollar was weaker, and then it started to fall back sharply after the dollar rallied considerably. So gold market is still a difficult market to trade right now because traders don't know whether it's a reserve currency or an investment. If it's an investment, they can continue to buy the market when it goes near support, but then they're selling it off near resistance. If it's a hedge against the dollar, well, the stronger dollar is going to weaken gold. So gold is being manipulated by two different fundamentals at this time, and it's making for choppy conditions. So we'll be looking to trade both sides of that market perhaps this upcoming week if the opportunities come up. Now, by Friday, it became clear that the US dollar was the go-to currency for the week. And you can see that based on the size of this big candlestick, when the European Central Bank cut rates and the Bank of England cut rates on Thursday, we had a big move up here in the euro, and then finally on Friday, with weaker than expected U.S. jobs data, traders left risky assets. They pulled out of stocks and commodities and went into the dollar, and that sent this flying higher. So if this momentum continues, we should hit this first objective at 83.84 over the near term. So again, you can see that Autochartist has picked up on the long dollar, short euro, and it's working out great for two recommendations. And this has been James Hierchek with this week's Autochartist weekly Forex futures and equity market recap for the week ending July 6th.